We've seen significant growth abroad, in particular within the Africa region. We've just closed a mobile identity verification contract with the largest mobile network provider in Africa. We're also expanding into 2 African countries, and we expect to see contracts with banks in those countries by the end of this year.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Alex Valdez. He is the Chief Financial Officer for TrustStamp. And Alex, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Likewise, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you're out with your most recent financial numbers. And what really jumps off the page is 100% growth in enrolled customers. So obviously you're seeing some really positive signs in these numbers.
That's right, Steve. We've seen a lot of growth in our customer base, in particular with our SaaS platform, the orchestration layer. Since at the end of this last quarter, halfway through the year now, the same number of banks that we've had year over year has actually grown by 100%. So we've gone from 31 banks to over 62 banks on the platform. We've also seen some significant revenue growth with those customers from product implementation and customer implementations. So over a 16.5% growth there. And one in particular is our flagship customer on the orchestration layer on that platform. That customer is now generating consistently about $14,000 per month. And that's monthly recurring revenue. And we're enjoying really healthy margins on that, over 83%.
And I guess, Alex, that's what you as the CFO likes to see is those customers that were, at one point now turning into recurring revenue. That's a real positive, and it shows in the bottom line as well.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing improvements on the bottom line. And a lot of this is going to be driven not only from growth in revenue, but also a lot of the cost-cutting measures that we've implemented since the end of 2022 and going forward.
Yeah. In there, you also talk about some new markets that seem to have availed themselves to the company as well, one of which was Africa. So there seems to be some really great growth opportunities ahead as well.
We've seen significant growth abroad, in particular within the Africa region. We've just closed a mobile identity verification contract with the largest mobile network provider in Africa. We're also expanding into 2 African countries, and we expect to see contracts with banks in those countries by the end of this year. So in addition to a lot of the growth in Africa, we've entered into the IoT market in two locations across Europe. That's within the UK and Denmark, and those are through strategic partnerships. And we're also expanding within the healthcare vertical. So collaborations in the UK and Scandinavian countries, as well as in the United States.
Yeah. I just want to ask you quickly about gross margins, because you mentioned earlier that you have really good ones. And for people to understand, that gross margin is really important, obviously, to the financial health of a company, especially when you're in a SaaS company.
Gross margins are critical. Yeah. So we've really been focused on transitioning from service revenue to our higher margin type revenue, repeatable, predictable type revenue within the SaaS space. So we've definitely seen improvements on the gross margin. We've also seen improvements in our net margins as well. So we had a 15.5% reduction in R&D during the period. And that's not necessarily just from hard cost cuts. It's actually from more cost efficiencies, which we've gained from transitioning our development resources externally in-house. So not only have we been able to reduce costs in that area, but we've actually increased our innovation. So our patents have grown from 16 to 22 patents. And we still have 15 provisional and pending patents still out there. So we're continuing to innovate, but we're also cutting costs at the same time.
Absolutely. And expecting all this to continue as well. It sounds like the next 3 months to 6 months look pretty positive.
That's what we're expecting. So as mentioned, the company is continuing to innovate. We will anticipate that innovation turning into new products turning into realized revenue. So we expect very positive quarters to come, and we're very excited about it.
Absolutely. Alex, thanks very much. Good update. Good to see you as well. Appreciate the time.
Likewise, Steve. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
All right. Alex Valdez, the Chief Financial Officer for TrustStamp.